welcome back to Sketch by Sketch. I know it's been a while since we've had a video like this. I've just kind of been busy and I've been trying to film videos and none of them have been really turning out. I've been kind of having some problems with my art lately, honestly, but I have another video that I'm going to be talking about that, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on in this one. But to get started with what we're drawing here, today we're going to be testing out some Crayola markers that I found in an old drawer. So I thought this was really interesting to see, because I'm used to using like Copic markers and Prismacolors and stuff like that, just to see how they can compare. I know they're not going to be as good because they were only like $15, but I would like to see if maybe a beginner could use these kind of in the same way as some of the other markers. So here you can see I'm getting a drawing started, just sketching this out in my ELO sketchbook. This was going to be a self-portrait, but then by the end of it, definitely didn't turn out like that. Just kind of started drawing this girl character. Not exactly sure who it is, but just kind of sketching it out here. I really like to sketch with these Prismacolor Color Erase colored pencils, just because they're so easy to erase when it comes time to get rid of your sketch lines and move on to line art, and you can change your lines. I could probably even erase this whole thing and use the page for something else. They just erase that well, and I really like to use them. Alright, we're done with this sketch now, and we're going to move on to some line art. I'm going to keep this pretty quick. You guys see me do this all the time. Again, if you'd like to see a tutorial or a video on anything you see me doing today, then go ahead and leave me a comment down below and I will see what I can do. So pretty much how I'm doing this, just to give you a brief idea, I have my pen. This is a Micron, Pigma Micron pen in size 1.0, and I am just going in and giving a pretty flat layer, except on the eyes. I kind of made that line a little bit thicker, but I'm not really adding line weight to this. I'm just kind of going around very carefully tracing over my sketch lines. If you notice, while I was sketching, I went in and darkened the lines that I wanted to ink in, so I knew exactly what I was doing, and it made this a lot easier. I do have to say, this is one of my favorite drawings I've done lately. I've really been kind of struggling with my art. I don't know if it's because I'm so bored at home, because I'm still in quarantine, or if it's just that I've done so much of it lately that I'm kind of wearing myself out. But I just haven't been able to sit down and really draw something that I've liked lately, and that's one of the reasons why videos haven't been coming out like they were. But I really like this drawing. I think it turned out super cute by the end of it. In this line art, I spent a lot more time on than I usually do, and I think it also turned out really cute. Also, if you're drawing along with me, then please leave me a comment down below and let me know what you're drawing. I always love to know that you guys are joining in on something like this. Alright, done with the line art. Let's get into the fun part of this video. These are the dual tip markers from Crayola. They came out about 2 years ago. They come in a little tin case, and they do have a brush tip, as you can see right there. And then they have a bullet tip, fine tip, right there, and the colors on both sides are different. I did not swatch like the name of both sides. I just wrote the name in the fine tip and then did a little swatch of the brush tip, if that makes any sense. There are two different colors on the ends, just didn't swatch them both. Right off the bat, I wasn't really sure about these markers. The tip honestly felt cheap, but I'm not sure yet. Alright, so here we have all of our colors, really pretty colors actually. I was noticing though that there were not enough skin tones to actually color the skin with these, so I found some old Winsor & Newton Pro markers in a drawer, again finding stuff everywhere, and I think I'm going to go ahead and swatch these out, as you can see right here, and I'm going to color in the skin. This process usually takes me a really long time to color skin. I like to build up my colors slowly, start with the lightest tone, working myself up to the darkest tone. And I went ahead and cut out the clip of me finishing up this coloring because you guys have seen me do it before. If you do want to see this particular drawing, I still have all the footage and stuff that I filmed, so if you want to see that, then let me know and we can see about putting out a video on that. Alright, moving on to actually using these markers, I thought I'd start small and go with the eyebrows. I noticed that the tip was pretty firm. It wasn't like a Copic marker where you could actually bend the tip on its side. I feel like if I did that with these, it would snap off and break because it was really stiff. And it felt like it would almost like melt if you scrubbed it on the paper too hard. Like if you were really trying to blend something out, I feel like the tip would just destroy the paper and kind of just disintegrate. So really not made well. I'm noticing that already just by using them. The colors seem to be fine. They're kind of melting my paper a little bit, which is very typical of like a Crayola water-based. I read online that these were actually alcohol-based, which I probably should have known better because they were like $12. But yeah, they're definitely water-based because they're really destroying my paper and they're not blending together and you can't build on that color. So definitely not alcohol-based like you would see in an Ohuhu, Copic, or Prismacolor. Now I'm going to go on and try to color the eyes. I'm using the little bullet tip this time, and it was really streaky, the color that was getting laid down. Which I kind of, after I decided that they weren't alcohol-based, I knew this was going to be pretty streaky, and I wasn't going to be able to get a smooth color, because typically with these water-based, they're not made for blending, even though these may say they're professional quality blending markers. Water-based markers are not made for that. So that's kind of what was going on here. Also, if you're drawing along with me, make sure you put a paper under your drawing so it doesn't bleed to the next page. I did that, I just don't think it showed it on camera. But yeah, just make sure you do that so you don't ruin your sketchbook. There were a lot of blue tones in this, so I was able to kind of build up and get a different color in the gradual blend of the eyes, but it still, if you were up close on this, it didn't really blend together. It just looked really streaky. A little tip, I love adding purple to blue eyes. I think it really brings out the color, and it's so subtle that you don't really notice it. But yeah, if you're drawing blue eyes, add a little bit of purple. It looks really neat. Alright, so here's where I had the decision to make. There weren't really many tones to color in the hair. There was that brown and then like the yellow, but I didn't really want to color in that large of a space with just one marker and then have nothing to blend into it. I really wasn't planning on doing a bright colored hair, but it's kind of what we ended up with just because there weren't enough markers, and I really wanted to give these a fair try and test them out as much as I could. Also, I am going back in a few times with one of those pro markers on some of the skin tone areas like the lips, as you can see. There I went back in with that original color and tried to blend that in, and that was kind of a mistake. You guys can't see it, but it totally ate through my paper and made kind of a mess. I think the colors in the pack are very pretty. It came with a nice kind of assortment of rainbow colors. Again, no skin tones or anything like that. But I think the colors were actually really vibrant and really pretty. They just didn't blend well on the paper. As you can see there, if you ever overlap the colors, they get kind of dark and muddy and start to streak really bad. So just another thing that is part of that water-based marker. You can't really lay other color on top or it starts getting really weird and messy on your paper. Alright, now we're getting to that hair I was talking about. I decided to go for rainbow hair. Interesting, and I thought I'd get to use all the colors. Never really done this before, but I thought we'd try it out and see what happens. So here I'm using the brush tip, and I'm just trying to color like I would maybe with Copic markers or something like that. Again, if you get too many layers of color on at one time, it's going to melt the paper. So this was extremely difficult to color in that large of an area without overlapping the colors, and it really wasn't fun to draw with these. Like, it was more a hassle to try to get them to look not so streaky and horrible that it wasn't necessarily very fun to color. Like I've said a few times, you guys can't really see it from the camera angle, but it was bad. Like, it really, these markers are not really made for what I'm using them for, I don't think, even though that's how they're advertised. I really don't think these are made for someone who wants to create an illustration and blend the colors and really use them like they've been advertised you use them. Not good. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the review of these, because all I'm doing now is just finishing up coloring this hair, nothing too exciting. I do not recommend this to you guys, which I usually would never just say, no, don't buy these. I usually am open to trying things and finding a use for them, but the only use for these I can really think of is maybe like an adult coloring book or any kind of coloring book where you just want one single flat layer of color and you're not filling in like a super large area. Anything else, except maybe like adding embellishments to like a sketch, like you guys see me add like a little tiny bit of a background on some of my sketches, that could work too. But other than that, I can't see you being able to use these like to finish an illustration. Like, I don't think you could do more than like maybe 2, because there's not enough ink in the markers to even do it, because I saw these, like, I hadn't used them before and they're already running out. So, I mean, I paid $14 for them, which isn't that much, but if they're already running out after the first use, then there's probably not much ink in them, and they're very cheaply made. So, I really don't recommend these. I hate to say that, but I'm really telling you, if you come across these, don't buy them unless you're going to use them for one of the reasons I said. I mean, give them a try if you want, if you find it like super cheap, but I really don't think it's worth it. And you could definitely just spend a few more bucks and get a small set of Ohuhu markers. Like, these are about $12 to $16. I've seen different prices online. And you can get a small set of Ohuhu markers for about $22. So, yeah, that's, I mean, a little bit more expensive, but if you're going to go for it and you really want to be able to use markers, then just go for it. You're going to be much happier, and they're going to last a lot longer. I've had a set of Ohuhu markers for about 5 years now, and they're still working. I mean, I've used them a lot, and when I first got them, I was a lot younger. I was like 10, and 10-year-olds and markers, very hard on them. So I was hard on those markers, and they're still working. The tips are a little damaged, but other than that, they're awesome markers. Again, not just advertising Ohuhu here, but I am going to recommend it. So definitely maybe think about trying that out before you try these. I mean, you can still see me drawing here. You can see the streaks. I was really actually upset. It kind of ruined this drawing a little bit. But let me know what you think of the drawing down below. If you've tried these markers, let me know what you think about them. I'd love to hear it. Also, I want to see your drawing request down below. I love reading your comments. If you have any comments, critiques, things you like, whatever you want, leave it down below. I love to hear it. Love to respond to you guys. You're always so kind, and I thank you very much for that. It really brightens my day to see someone comment on one of my videos. So I am going to go ahead and kind of skip through this hair, just because it's getting really boring, and I have really nothing else to say about it. Alright, there's the finished drawing. It turned out cute in the end. I can't complain about it, but like I already said, don't like the markers, not going to recommend them. They did not bleed through to the back, which was really nice, but again, not recommending them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, leave me a comment down below and I will respond to you. Thanks so much, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Goodbye!